غرباء 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 غرباء.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا. واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Before we begin our program today, inshallah, there's something I want to make mention of to you brothers, my young students. You should all know that the masjid, it has a very important place in the life of every single Muslim. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Sab'atun yudhilluhumullahu fi dhillihi yawma la dhilla illa dhilluhu." There will be 7 people that Allah will give them shade, Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day where there will be no shade. The sun is going to be close to people and they're going to be sweating all over the place. They're going to be nervous. But there will be 7 different people that Allah will give them shade under His arush. They'll be protected from the rays and the heat of the sun. 7. One of those 7 people, he said, Shabun nasha'a fi ta'atillah. The young lady who grew up worshiping Allah. That's one of the 7 people. Another person, he said, Rajulun ta'allaqa qalbuhu bil masjid. Another person is the person who used to like coming to the masjid. He would come to the masjid, make salat, make dhikr, leave, come back to the masjid, make salat, make dhikr, and leave. Anytime there was a lecture in the masjid, he would come to the masjid. So the masjid is part of the life of a Muslim. If you live in the UK or wherever you live in America and you never came to the masjid, you don't know where the masjid is, you never been to a masjid, then there's something wrong with your Islam. Something is wrong with the Muslim. When one of us moves to a new house, as soon as we get in a new house, you move from the house where you are right now. Anywhere you go in the world, you move, go in a new house. The very first thing you're going to do, one of the first things is, you're going to try to find what direction the Qibla is. Because you have to pray. So if you're living around Muslims, you're going to say to your neighbor, someone who's walking around the street, excuse me, where's the Qibla? Because the Muslim is connected to the Qibla, to the masjid. It's a part of who he is. If he doesn't have knowledge of the Qibla, he's dead, made it, finished, dead. He doesn't connect himself to a salah, the masjid, something's wrong with him. We have to know, you young brothers, that the masjid, there are a lot of do's and a lot of don'ts. A lot of things you can do in the masjid and a lot of things you can't do in the masjid. Things that are haram to do in the masjid. Like that man who came. They were sitting with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this man was a Bedouin. He was rough, tough. He wasn't very cultured. Radiyallahu anhu. he had to go to the toilet. He had to use the bathroom. He just got up. He went over there a few steps, pulled his pants down, and he started going to the bathroom in the masjid. Is that acceptable? Not acceptable. The Prophet told the people, hey, let him finish. Let him finish. He didn't want the man to dirty up more place than was necessary. After the man finished, he told the companions, hey, go pour some water on that. Man, come here. The man came. He told that man, the masjid is not built for that. The masjid is built for salat, the dhikr of Allah. It's not for that. So that hadith shows us the masjid is not a place where you eat and you put gum under the chair, you put gum on the carpet, you go in the toilet, in the bathroom, and you write things in the bathroom about crazy things, people's telephone number. The masjid is a place you can do some things and many things you can't do. So what's the point? I saw something that I have to address here as your teacher, as your older brother. And I like sitting with you guys just as much and sometimes even more than sitting with the older people. Because young people is easy. You could just tell them, Prophet Muhammad said this, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah said that, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the young person loves Allah, he just starts doing it. Sometimes when you told the older person, Prophet Muhammad said this, he said, yeah, but my mother didn't say it. You tell him, Allah said that, she said, yeah, but my mother didn't do it like that. So it's easy being with the young people. So you guys are my students, pay attention to this. What's the point about the masjid? The Prophet told all of us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إذا دخل أحدكم المسجد فلا يجلس حتى يصلي ركعتين. If any of you enters into a masjid, any masjid, when you go into a masjid, he said, don't sit down until you pray 2 rak'at. This masjid, any masjid in Birmingham, any masjid, when you go into a masjid, before the Muslim can sit down, he has to give the masjid haqq. The masjid has many rights on us. Huquq, we have to keep it clean. The Prophet was about to pray, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was about to say, Allahu Akbar, and the people were behind him. He got ready to say, Allahu Akbar. He looked up, he saw on the wall of the Qibla, someone spit. Someone had spit before he got there. And they put it on the wall. The Nabi looked at it, he took his clothes, his own clothes, and he wiped it off. And he told the people, he turned to the people, before Salah, he said, don't spit towards the Qibla. And he wiped it off, showing the haqq of the masjid. There was a black lady during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was miskina, faqira. She didn't have any money, no money. But she used to come to the masjid of the Prophet and she used to clean it up. And Rasulullah used to see her sometimes. One day, he didn't see her. He said, where's that black lady that used to clean up the masjid? They said, she died yesterday, Ya Rasulullah. She died. The Nabi became angry. He said, why didn't you people tell me? He said, come. So they went with him to where they buried her. And the Nabi stood over her grave and the people stood behind him. And he said, Allahu Akbar. And he made Salatul Janazah. Rasulullah made Janazah on that lady. Now this is the same Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our Nabi, our Rasul. He was about to pray on another man. Pay attention, guys. He was about to pray, Janazah. The body was there. He was about to pray. He got ready to say, Allahu Akbar for Janazah. He said, did this man owe anybody money? They said, yes, Ya Rasulullah, he owes some people money. He said, I'm not praying. You pray over him. And he left. Because he owed someone money. He borrowed money and he didn't pay the money back. The Nabi said, I'm not praying. Someone else pray. And he left. Now, why did he leave that man without praying over him? He left him because you shouldn't die owing money. If you take people's money, give them their money back. But look at the black lady. The Nabi asked, where that lady at? She died. He told the people, come. And then he went and prayed over her. Although they prayed over her already, the other people prayed the day before. But the Nabi prayed over her. Why? Because she used to take care of the masjid. She used to help clean the masjid. She used to make the thing easy and facilitate cleanliness for the Muslims in the masjid. So the masjid has rights on us. Many rights. Many rights. If you lose something in the masjid, your phone, your keys, the Nabi said, if someone loses something and he says in the masjid, I lost my keys. Did you see my keys? The Prophet said we should make dua against him and say, La raddahallahu alayk. May Allah not give it back to you. Why? Because the man is compromising what the masjid is for. The masjid is not for that. Oh, I lost my thing. Hey, where's my thing? Two men, they were arguing during the time of Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar, he had a stick he used to carry with the people when he was the leader of the people. He said to the people, hey, don't you people read what Allah said? Allah said in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, la tarfa'u aswatakum fawqa sawti an-nabi. Don't raise your voices above the voice of the Nabi. The Nabi was dead in his masjid, dead. But Umar didn't allow those people to speak loud in the Prophet's masjid. So the point is, if you ever come into a masjid, you have to pray 2 rak'ahs. You guys got that? Do you guys got that? You looking at me like, you guys with me? One time the Prophet was praying Salatul Jummah. Look at Sheikh Abu Muhammad. Just imagine on Friday, he comes all the way to this masjid. He takes the time out to pray. Him and all these other people in Green Lane, 3,000 people, they come for Salah. During the time of the Prophet, he was giving the khutbah. A man came into the masjid and he sat down. While the Nabi was talking in the khutbah, the Nabi stopped the khutbah. He said to that man, hey, Sulaik, did you pray 2 rak'ahs? The man said, no. The Prophet said, get up and pray 2 rak'ahs and make them short, make them quick, because the khutbah is going on. So even on Friday, if you come into the masjid and the imam is giving a khutbah, as a Muslim in your religion, we're not Christians, we're not Sikh, we're not Hindu. We have any Hindus here? We got any Jews here? How many Muslims do we have here? Oh, we all Muslims. So when you come to the masjid, the house of Allah, 2 rak'ah. Now, that man Sulaik, he came in, he sat down. The Nabi stopped the khutbah. He said, Sulaik, you pray? Sulaik said, no. He said, get up and pray 2 rak'ahs. He got up and prayed quickly. Now, Sulaik had iman. He believed in Allah. He wasn't embarrassed. First, he didn't lie and say, no, Rasulullah prayed. He didn't lie. And he stood up and he prayed 2 rak'ahs. He didn't care that the people may think, oh, he didn't know, he didn't care. So some of you, I saw with my own eyes that you came into the masjid and you didn't pray your 2 rak'ahs. What I'm going to say to you as your teacher, nice and easy, your older brother, if you came into this masjid and you sat down without praying 2 rak'ahs, you should get up and go pray 2 rak'ahs real quick and hurry up and come back. So if you didn't pray 2 rak'ahs, go get a sutra, pray towards a sutra. And in the future, every masjid, every place, you have to pray 2 rak'ahs. And if you don't have wudu, go make wudu. Don't just pray without wudu. Don't pray without wudu. If I catch you not making wudu, I'm going to break your kneecap. You guys, good job. Okay, guys, what we're going to do today, inshallah, are some subjects that the brothers gave to me that they want to deal with. But we're going to take some time so that the Ashabul Salat can finish their Salat. And then when they come back, inshallah, we'll deal with this issue, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different issues that we want to deal with concerning a dawah ilallah. 9 important issues that are going on in our environment. Sajjad, that brother brought some water. What's that water for? Hey, can I have one, please? Any masjid that you go to, you have to go to if you know you're going to the masjid, make wudu and go to the masjid, because when you get there, you have to pray 2 rak'ahs. Another issue about salat, really important, guys. You see this little dude right here, my little man right there? He brought that wooden thing to put there. They call that a sutra. The Prophet never would pray except that he has something in front of him to stop people from walking in front of him. So you see back there in the corner over there, those sutras. Try to get one of those and pray towards them, or pray towards the wall, or pray towards this, or if someone's sitting in the chair, pray towards him. If someone is sitting down, pray behind his back. Try never to pray and you're just in the open. You're just in the open. But we'll deal with that at another time. Concerning some of the issues of dawah that the brothers want me to talk about, some real issues that need to be addressed that are going on in our houses, in our homes, in the minds of our families, is the importance of having a tawheed and the dangers of committing shirk, and also this issue of the ta'weed or the tamima. Anybody know what a ta'weed is? Anybody know what a tamima? What is it? No. Ta'weed, tamima. Almost. Now, the ta'weed, the tamima, is the thing that people wear to protect them from shaitan, to protect them from the evil eye, to protect them from getting bitten by a dog, to protect them from any harm befalling them. So if you get a little baby, you'll find the mother or the father tied around the neck, tied around the arm, tied it around the waist. In America, even the kuffar do it. They get a cat's eye, and they make a cat's eye into a necklace, and they believe the cat's eye is going to ward off and prevent any evil. So we're going to talk about that issue. We're going to talk about the khatam. The khatam. The khatam is something that the Asian community, people from Pakistan, people from Afghanistan, people from Bangladesh, but especially Pakistan, every last Thursday in every month, they do a thing called khatam, where the lady cooks a lot of food and stuff, and then they believe that the souls of all of their dead relatives come back to the house. And they eat the food, smell the food. We're going to deal with that, inshallah. We're going to deal with the issues today as well about the saints. Anybody know what a saint is?
One of them, people that worship, priests.
Yeah, the priests, the saints, people who died. People who died, and the Muslims think that you can make dua to them. The Muslims think you can go to their grave. I've been to Sudan. In Sudan, there's a place in Sudan called Port Sudan. Port Sudan. The Chinese people, a long time ago, in the 20s and the 30s, Chinese people, kuffar, Chinese people, they helped to build the railroad in Sudan. Many of them traveled to Sudan, and they helped to build the railroad in Port Sudan. One of the Chinese guys, Chinese guy, he fell off of a big thing. He fell and broke his neck. So they buried him, and his grave is in this particular place. Muslims from Sudan go to that place, and they make dua to the kafir who's in the grave. They said he was a saint. We're going to deal with that issue. We're going to deal this also with the knowledge of the unseen, and is the prophet still alive, and is he everywhere? And the final issue is the issue of fortune telling and reading horoscopes. No doubt, you young guys, as I told you, if you grow up understanding Islam the correct way, you won't have a problem when you get older with accepting the truth about these issues. But if you grow up and your mother and your father, they're teaching you this, I call it hocus pocus crystal ball Islam. You know the hocus pocus, the crystal ball? You rub the crystal ball or you rub the magic lamp and the genie comes out. That's not Islam. That's cartoon. That's Disneyland. Your Islam can't be like that. Make a wish. You eat the chicken, and then you have the wishbone. You know the wishbone of the chicken? Huh? There's a wishbone. You take one part, give your other brother the part, and you say, make a wish. You say, I wish I get a bicycle. He says, I wish for a PlayStation. And then you break it. And based on that, you're going to get what you want. That's hocus pocus Islam. Our religion is not like that. Now that you guys are this young, if you start learning Islam from an early age and you know what you're doing as you grow up, inshallah, when you grow up to be a full man and you guys get married and you have little children and you're living in your life, you're going to be one of those people who people can't play with you in your religion. People can't take advantage of you in your religion. You know what you're doing. So all of these issues are issues that older Muslims, they teach younger Muslims, and then the young Muslim grows up on it, and he just doesn't know his religion. When he gets older, he has all kinds of problems. We only have about 30 minutes, so inshallah I have to go through these very quickly. As it relates to the importance of Tawheed, we already spoke about that in every single class that we've had here. Every class that we have with you, and every class, every khutbah, every dars, we got to mention Tawheed. Because Tawheed, the oneness of Allah and worshiping Allah alone, is the most important issue. It's why Allah created us. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They have only been ordered, worship Allah alone. Hey guys, at Tawheed, listen. If a person did all of the sins in the world, if he killed 100,000 people, not that it's okay, that's a bad sin. If he killed 100,000 people, but he comes Yawm al-Qiyamah without making shirk, he's gonna go to the Jannah. Allah may put him in the hellfire to burn him, to clean him up for his sins, and Allah may not burn him. Allah may just forgive him. But if a man came and he built 100,000 masjids, and he took care of 100,000 orphans, and he also gave 100,000 pounds in zakat every year, but he died and he said that Prophet Muhammad was Allah, Jesus was Allah, that man who died saying someone else is Allah, everything that he did is going to be rejected by Allah, because Allah won't accept that people do things and they make shirk with him. So we already discussed that. As for the ta'weed, listen, the ta'weed, wearing the amulets. One time the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he wanted to travel. He was about to travel with his companions. It was a practice of Quraysh that they used to wear amulets. They used to put amulets around the neck of their camels. The Prophet saw there was a camel that had an amulet, a tamima. He told the people, this camel can't ride with me. It can't come with me on this journey, because the one who put this tamima around him is making shirk. So he told the people, anyone who has a camel that has something around their neck, then rip it off and leave it. So he wouldn't even allow that, which goes to show, if you have a car, you'll find here in Birmingham, maybe you've seen this, some people tie a black ribbon on the exhaust, on the pipe on the car. You ever see that? They tie the black ribbon and they believe the black ribbon is going to protect the car from getting into an accident. That's shirkum billah. And the Prophet made dua against people who did that, Muslims. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, man allaqa tamimatan fala atamma Allahu lahu. Whoever ties this tamima up, may Allah not complete his affairs. So even if the thing is the Quran, has words of the Quran, you put it up like this, and then you make a necklace out of that and you wear that, even that, you shouldn't wear it. To protect you from a car accident, to protect you from the evil eye, to protect you from magic, who's the one who protects you? Anybody know? Who's the one who protects you? Little man. Allah. The Prophet told Abdullah ibn Abbas, how old are you, son? Ibn Abbas was about 15, 16 years old. The Prophet told Ibn Abbas, hey young man, you should know, if all of the people and the jinn, from the very first person in the first jinn to the last person in the last jinn, all of the people, if they came together to give you benefit with something that Allah didn't write for you, they can't benefit you, all of them together. And if they all came together to harm you with something that Allah didn't write for you to be harmed, they can't hurt you. So the only one who can help you and the only one who can harm you is who? Guys, you know they said in America here as well, the rabbit, you know the rabbit. They said that the rabbit's foot is good luck. If you get a rabbit, cut his foot off, tie it on your car, on the mirror of the car. You guys heard that before, right? They say that the rabbit's foot is good luck. And Muslims believe that. Now my question is, if the rabbit's foot was good luck, how did that rabbit lose his foot? How did he lose his foot? Where's his luck? He couldn't even save his own foot. He died. The rabbit died. Somehow, someone killed him. Now, after he died, someone cut his foot off and put it there and said, good luck. Muslims don't believe in that nonsense. There's a surah in the Quran called al-Ankabut. Anyone knows what al-Ankabut is? In Arabic, al-Ankabut. It's a spider. Allah said in the Quran, those people who worship other than Allah, their worship of those other things is like the house of the spider. The house of the spider. The house of the spider, is it strong? Is it weak? It's weak. You know, the spider web. The spider web. You can just go there and you can blow it like this. Now, if I have money, I'm going to put my money in a safe place, in a safe, big safe, hide my money. I'm not going to get spider webs and tie my money up because anybody could come and break it. Similar to that, we shouldn't believe in these crazy issues like this. Now we come to the issue of the khatam. In reality, you brothers who are from Pakistan, it's really about you guys more than anyone else. Because Somali people don't have this issue. They have other issues. Somali people, they don't have this issue of the khatam. Arabs, they don't have this issue of khatam. Other Africans, they don't have this issue of the khatam. What's the khatam? And most of these messages in Birmingham, and I'm not saying that the Muslims are no good in Birmingham. And I'm not saying that Allah doesn't love the Muslims in Birmingham. I'm just telling you the reality. Most of the Asian Muslims, many of them, they believe on the last Thursday of the month that the souls, the ruh, the arwah, all of their relatives, the mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, the uncle, that they cook all of this food and they put a lot of sweet dishes. They believe that the dead souls come and they participate in eating the food. And if you are a member of that family and you say, Wallahi, I'm not going to participate in that, your mother, your father, your relatives, they'll get upset with you. They'll say, you're not respecting the elders. You're not respecting your forefathers. You're not respecting your religion. You're not respecting your culture. Have you ever heard of a dead person dying and then coming back and he ate food? No, they don't eat food. They don't eat food. They don't come back. That's not a part of the religion and what we believe in. In actuality, this thing about the khatam, it comes from Hindus. Hindus. People were in India, in Sindh, Pakistan, in that area. They used to be non-Muslims. And the Muslims went to that area and they changed their religion. But there are many Muslims who are still affected with some of the practices of Hindus. I'm not saying that the Muslims from Pakistan are Hindus. I'm not saying that. But it's just like in Africa as well. You go to Africa, many parts of Africa, Islam, when it spread to Africa, some Africans who don't know their religion, they still held on to some of the remnants of what the forefathers used to practice before they even were Muslims. So this issue about the khatam, it has no place in the religion of al-Islam. No ayat from the Quran talks about the khatam. No hadith of the Prophet ﷺ talks about the khatam. Not one companion ever did this thing of the khatam. The people who believe in it, they won't never be able to bring you any proof of why we do it. But the reason why it's being done is because that's what their forefathers used to do. The Hindus. And one of the difficult things that, as I mentioned, for older people, it's hard for older people to change. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We don't want to say a human being is like a dog, but the meaning of that is true. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. One of the reasons why you guys shouldn't smoke cigarettes, if you start smoking cigarettes now, when you smoke, your chest say, ooh, that's it's hot. I don't like that. It's going to hurt your chest. But if you keep doing it, then the chest is going to say, okay, if you insist, and it get used to it. You start at 14, 15, 16, and you keep smoking, and you turn 45, 50, 60, it becomes very difficult to quit that habit now because your body is used to it. Your body needs it. So the way you stop it is don't smoke at all because it's not cool. Smoking is a filthy, bad habit that if you develop it, it's hard to break. So what's the point? What's the point? The point here is older people, they find it difficult to not do what their forefathers did. And that's what happened with Quraysh. When Prophet Muhammad came to Quraysh, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told Quraysh, he told them, he didn't say, give me your money. He didn't say that. He didn't say to Quraysh, give me your homes. I want your houses. He didn't say that. He said to Quraysh, say la ilaha illallah. That's all he told them. And when they heard that from him, they said, no, that's not what our fathers used to say. That was the only reason they didn't say it. They said, that's not what our fathers used to say. Our fathers used to worship all of these idols. Although those idols couldn't help them, couldn't benefit them. Although it doesn't make sense to worship the idols. Although you made the idols with your own hands. How are you going to make your own God and worship him? How is that? The Nabi just wanted them just to say La ilaha. They couldn't. Why? Older people find it very difficult to change what they've been doing. So that's the issue with the khatam. You guys don't buy into the khatam from an early age because there's no proof for it. The other issue that the brother brought was this issue about the saints. There are different people in Islam. I'm going to say the person in Arabic and you give me the translation. The Rasul, what is, and who is the Rasul? What is that in English? Rasul, who is that? What is that? A messenger. The Nabi, what is a Nabi? A prophet, good job. Okay, the Salihun or Salih, the Salihun. Who are the Salihun? What is that in English? The good doers, the righteous people. The Muttaqun, who's the Muttaqun? The people who fear Allah, they have taqwa, that's a kind of people. The Sa'imun. Who are the Sa'imun? Anybody know? Sa'imun, little man, you know? Who are the Sa'imun? The people who fast. Okay, who are the Hujjaj? The people make Hajj. Come on, guys. Who are the Musallun? The people who pray. Okay, here's a question for you. Who are the awliya? The awliya of Allah, the wali, the awliya. Who are the awliya? The awliya are the friends of Allah. We all have to try to be awliya of Allah. If you become the wali of Allah, Allah will protect you. People trying to get you from your backside, from where you don't see them. They plot and they plan. If you're from the awliya of Allah, Allah will protect you. Allah will be the hand that you hit with. Allah will be the eyes that you see with and the ears that you hear with. Meaning that Allah will divinely help you to figure things out. He'll protect you. People trying to jam up your program. But the awliya of Allah, they're the people who have tawheed. They're the people who pray. They're the people who fast. They're the people who stay away from haram. They're the people who do extra good things. You can't sit on your backside and don't practice Islam and cross your fingers and you be doing like this, talking about, I'm from the awliya of Allah, I'm from the awliya of Allah. No, you have to get up and you have to do some works. You have to make efforts. The lady who doesn't wear hijab, she doesn't wear any hijab. She goes out, tight jeans. Her hair is all over the place. Is she from the awliya of Allah? La wallahi, she's not from the awliya. The Pope in Rome, he wears all of that white thing, that red hat on his head, almost like Muslims. He covers his head, whatever, and he's the leader of all those people. Is he from the awliya of Allah? No, he's not from the awliya, because he makes shirk with Allah and he sends the people astray. The awliya of Allah, they worship Allah. Now pay attention. Those are the saints. When one of those people die, and we bury him, is it possible that he himself, a righteous man, he died, he's in his grave. Is it possible that while he's in his grave, he can send food to his family so they don't have to work? He just makes the bird fly into their house and the bird cooks itself and then they eat. Is that possible? It's not possible. It's possible, but it doesn't happen like that. That man who died, he can't help his own self. He's dead. That means he can't help you, no matter who he is. That's even if he's really, really a friend of Allah. He can't help you. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in his grave. Prophet Muhammad can't help us. The only way that we get helped by Prophet Muhammad is by following his religion. So the saint, Allah mentioned in the Quran, اتبعوا ما أنزل إليكم من ربكم ولا تتبعوا من دونه أولياء قليلا ما تذكرون. Follow what was revealed to you by your Lord, this Quran and the Sunnah. And don't follow the awliya. Don't follow the awliya. If a person is alive and you think he's a friend of Allah, he still has to do the right things as well. Someone's from the awliya of Allah, he can't help you, he can't benefit you other than what Allah allowed. So this whole concept of the saints in the grave or the saints outside of the grave helping is not permissible. I went to a place in Africa called Ghana. And I was with a group of people who were not very rich. They were in the jungle. They were not rich. We used to eat one time a day. Here in the UK, I don't eat fish head. You know fish with the head on it? I'm not going to eat the head because I'm not used to that. The chicken, I'm not going to eat the chicken feet here because I'm not used to that. But when I went there, those people were very poor, and you only eat one time a day. So when they sent me some soup and it had chicken feet in it, I was eating those chicken feet because I was hungry. It was hard, but I was hungry. These people, where you take a shower at, they had a little room and there was dirt on the floor. The water comes, you take a shower, and the dirt goes outside and they catch it in a bucket. And then they throw the bucket away, the water, dirty water. It's from your dirt on your body and the dirt on the floor. There was a sheikh who they believed was a saint from the awliya of Allah. He was the sheikh from the Burhan Tariqah. He came and he visited them. When he used to take the shower in the same place, they would catch the water and then they would put it in cups and people would drink the water. Why did they drink the water? They drank the water because they said, he's a saint, he's special, he's this, he's that. La wallahi. Now it is a fact, guys, I can't lie to you. During the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the Prophet made wudu, his companions used to get water so that they can make wudu with his water. When the Prophet used to sweat, they used to take off of his head the sweat and put it in a little perfume bottle. And then on Friday, they would put it on their children and it smelled like perfume. That happened. No doubt. But with Prophet Muhammad, is Prophet Muhammad like anybody else? The other thing is Prophet Muhammad never told them to do that. Now, if someone comes to give a lecture here, he's the Imam in Mecca, Sheikh al-Sudais. Sheikh al-Sudais, he came here to Green Lane and he went to different masjids. When he got in his car, some people were jumping on the car. They were trying to ride the car from outside. Hey, what are you doing? Don't be like that. This is not, our religion doesn't have pop stars. Our religion doesn't have, these football players. We say, give me your autograph. His autograph doesn't mean nothing. So in this religion, this thing about saints, we believe in awliya, friends of Allah. But even those people who are really the friends of Allah, they have to have some characteristics. And it doesn't mean that you should connect yourself to people like that, especially when they're dead. Like what happened where the people drink the water of that man. Like what happened in Port Sudan, where the people were worshiping a Chinese man in the grave. If you want to make money, hey guys, if you want to make money in the Muslim world, I'm not telling you to do this. If you want to make money in the Muslim world, all you have to do is slaughter a donkey, a horse, a monkey, make a grave, bury the grave, and just write over the grave, this is the grave of Sheikh Glow in the Dark. The people are going to come and they're going to pay money. Sheikh Glow in the Dark, he'll make dua for you. Sheikh Glow in the Dark, you want to pass the exam? He'll help you. Sheikh Glow in the Dark, you want to get married? He'll help you. And Muslims will come. As for you guys who started Islam pure from the beginning, when you grow up, you go to that place right now, you say, Sheikh who? I don't know whose bones in there. And he can't help me, can't help himself. He's just like that rabbit's foot. If he had so much blessing and the ability to help, he would have helped himself. Now we come to the other issue, Khwani, and that is the issue of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is the Prophet dead or alive? If you know the answer, put your hand up. Those of you who believe that Rasulullah is dead, he died, put your hand up, your right hand, the good hand. You know this is the hand you have to use the toilet with, the bad thing. If you believe Prophet Muhammad died, he's dead. Okay, if you believe that Prophet Muhammad is still living, put your hand up. Prophet Muhammad died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's because no human being can live forever. No human being. Allah said, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every human being is going to die. There's only one who doesn't die. Only one. His name is Al-Hayy. Al-Hayy. He lives forever. Who doesn't die? Who? Aywa? And who is that? Who is Al-Hayy? Allah Ta'ala, he doesn't die. When the Prophet died, in real life, when he died, he was a few days before he died, they had to tie on his head a bandage because he had a bad headache. He was in a lot of pain, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He stopped going to the masjid for salah. He was so sick. Then he wanted to go to the masjid and he told the people, bring me to the masjid. They brought him out of his house. He was holding on to two people. They brought him and he had to pray sitting down. And so they put him in the front and he was praying. They couldn't hear him say, Allahu Akbar. He was so weak and sick when he was dying. Why was he doing that? His body was breaking down. All human beings, they go to the toilet because they're weak. When they're born, they're in their mother's stomach for a few months. They come out with blood because they're weak. Allah is not like that. All human beings go to sleep, they forget, they sweat, all of them. Allah is not like that. So the Nabi, he was dying. He was telling the people, oh, my head, my head. He said, as a prophet, the pain I go through is double the pain of anyone else because he's going to have a special place in Jannah. So he goes through all of that in the dunya. Anyway, he finally died. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Abu Bakr, he heard the news. Abu Bakr went to the Prophet where he died in his house. He pulled the cover off of the face of the Nabi and he smelt him and he kissed him. And he said, you smell and you taste just as sweet in death as you did in life. He put the blanket back over his face. He went to the masjid. The people in the masjid, they were all distraught. They were sad. The Nabi of al-Islam, who the Quran was coming down, they saw all of those miracles. They loved him. More than your mother and your father love you, the Nabi was loved more than your parents love you by those men. He came out, Umar radiallahu anhu was there. Umar was saying, had his sword out, he said, anybody say Muhammad dead, I'm going to kill you. You munafiq. Anybody who say that. He just went to meet Allah and he's coming back. The way Musa went up on the mountain and he was on the mountain for a number of days where he met Allah and Allah gave him revelation and he came back. Umar said, that's what happened. Anyway, guys, Prophet sallallahu Abu Bakr, he stood on the second stair. The Prophet, his minbar had three. Look, 1, 2, 3. He used to stand on the top stair to give the khutbah. Why did he stand on the stair? Anybody know? Why did he stand on the top one? Anybody know? So people can see him. If he stands on the top stairs, the people from way back there can see and hear him. So he used to stand on the top stair. Abu Bakr, he stood on the second stair. He didn't want to stand on the third. He stood on the second one. Abu Bakr said, hey, anybody who was worshiping Muhammad, Muhammad is dead. He died. He's dead. And anybody who worships Allah, Allah is living and Allah doesn't die. And then he read the ayah to Umar and the rest of the people. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا الرَّسُولُ لَقَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرَّسُولُ أَفَإِنْ مَاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ انقَلَبْتُمْ عَلَى أَعْقَابِكُمْ وَمَنْ يَنْقَلَبْ عَلَى عَقِبَيْهِ فَلَنْ يَضُرُّ اللَّهَ شَيْئًا. Muhammad is a messenger like the people who went before him. If he dies or if he is killed, would you people stop practicing Islam? And if you stop practicing Islam because he died, you don't hurt Allah, you hurt yourself. When Umar heard that ayat that he knew, he fell down because he realized the Nabi died. So it's not acceptable, ikhwani, for someone to think that the Nabi didn't die. He died, but he is living in a special way and in a special place. He's living in a place called the Barzakh. The Barzakh. But this is not only the Nabi. Every human being who died before Yawm al-Qiyamah, there are three places. You have the dunya, and we're living in the dunya. And then the person dies. Once he dies, he's in the Barzakh. He's in his grave. And in that grave, he's alive. Things are happening. But he's not alive in this dunya. He's alive in the Barzakh. And then Yawm al-Qiyamah, he's going to go to the Jannah or he's going to go to the Hellfire. So those are the three marahil, the three darajat. There's dunya, once you die, and everybody's going to die from here. No one lives forever here. There's a guy, his name was Rumpelstiltskin. You guys know him? You know him? Okay, we don't want to digress. The last issue that we want to mention is about fortune telling and reading horoscopes. No one knows anyone's future except Allah. وَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ الْغَيْبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. No one knows. No one in the heavens or the earth knows the unseen except Allah. When you guys see on TV or anyone foretelling what's going to happen in the future, you should know that that person is a kadhab. They're lying. They're not. Only Allah knows. Only Allah knows when it's going to rain. Only Allah knows what's in the womb of the when she's having a baby. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what land you're going to die in. Hey, anybody here know what day you're going to die? Anybody know? Nobody knows. So if someone tells you this is going to happen, they're just making kadhib. So the point of all of that, guys, all of this is, these are some of the practices that some of the Muslims have, and they're all counterproductive, and they go against the religion of Islam. We want you guys to be pure, real, sane Muslims, not insane with these ideas that are counterproductive, and they're harmful, and they go against the deen. Now, if you guys have any questions concerning what we mentioned today, we'll only deal with about 2 or 3 questions. Next Saturday, Sunday, I won't be here, but someone else will be here. I'm going to go to Canada, inshallah, next Sunday. So I'll be gone for next Sunday. Set up. Okay, so next Sunday is going to be a different program. It's called the Youth Issues Seminar. And the topics that will be discussed will be dealing with things like boyfriends and girlfriends, Facebook, different sports, drugs, smoking, music, haircuts, racism, peer pressure, gang culture, and things like this. So we want you guys to come out. It's going to start at 10 o'clock, 10:30 to 1 p.m. And it's for brothers and sisters from the age of 11 to 21, just like you guys. But again, remember, hey guys, if I don't come next week, they say when the cat's away, the mice will play. When I don't come next week, inshallah, you still have to pray 2 rakats when you come into the masjid. Every masjid, 2 rakats. That's the haqq of the masjid. You have to feel the masjid is the house of Allah, Baytullah. You guys got that? Any and every time. I need you to pay attention to this, because I'm going to die one day. Inshallah. And you'll still be making those 2 rakats. And while I'm dead in the barzakh that I told you about, inshallah, I'll be getting my rewards. You guys, little guys, when you grew up in Islam from the beginning, without the hocus pocus crystal ball Islam. We don't want that cultural Islam. We want that Islam of, where's the dalil? Where's that? Did the companions do that? Did the Nabi say that? So before you sit down, 2 rakats in this masjid and every other masjid, except in Mecca. If you go to Mecca, you should do 7 tawafs if you have time. If you don't have time, then you do the 2 rakats. Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Any questions, Shabab, Shaboob, Shababa? All right, now, after the salat, things you can't come to me like you do every week now. Every week, you guys him me up. Now, tfaddal. Huh? What? Here. Here's your paper. I didn't hear the question. What'd you say? Amin. Yeah, that's after the thing. After the thing, inshallah. But no questions? Okay, guys. If you don't have wudu, make wudu and get in the salat in the right way and don't make any tashwish, okay? Be mature and pray the prayer correctly. So nobody can go home now because of the maghrib. So you guys make wudu. If you don't have wudu, come back and don't make any trouble in the salat, okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, little man.
غرباء